Neural. Oh my God. It's
So go, Laurie.
neural platform. Okay. Oh yeah.
Are you sharing your screen, Laurie?
No, no, I just posted a link in the chat.
Okay.
I'm looking at the thing.
I could if you want me to, if that's
Ah,
easier.
please.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on just this
Do
quick.
right here.
Share screen. Okay. So this is so I made like a list of pros and cons about the business case of Solar Niger, and then off USAID they had these charts and tables. So I just copied these charts and tables so you can like see. I can make my points and then just use these like handy arrows to link to the table, and I can kind of like make comments on them and just easily post like a lot of pictures and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to give like a much more visual representation of what's going on and just like what life is like there and giving people context about the country and politics and the climate and maybe some opportunities and
They have natural resources. Oh
um,
boy. They're worth investing in.
what?
They have natural resources. They're worth investing in. Okay. This is
Right, but it's like so for me it's like you can produce a report that details their aquifers, but when you like show a picture of a water spouting out of the ground, that lets someone understand the concept in way less time than if you just have words. And it is also way less time than producing a video. So it could be, say for example, if Utopia was helping to produce videos, this would be part. Kiko Lab has done like a lot of work in the story design process um, to see how we can get from an idea to step by step to a story. So what happens is like people think, oh, we have this idea and it goes straight to video, but video is so labor intensive that you actually want to step by step process to get feedback before you spend that much time.
Yeah, and I sign up for Kiko Labs newsletters, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they were great, Slowly. Was
Yeah,
juicy.
it take a lot of time though. That's the
Yeah,
that's the problem. If you do like
they,
good work, it takes a
yeah,
lot of time.
I know that they were very juicy, juicy and very. You see, you feel compelled to see each thing. See, is that something that you pass the eyes over?
Mhm.
You really feel compelled to check it out. Everything that you put in the newsletter was really great work. And this mural board, wow. Could you share? Is it shareable for us here? I'm going to take a look at it.
Yeah,
Well,
sure. I
yeah.
put it in the chat.
Well, well, people. We have Atos here. Atos, be very welcome, my friend.
And who's Unai?
And Unai, I think he comes from Sensorica, isn't it, Unai? Welcome,
Yes.
Unai. Yes.
Hello.
Be
Nice
very
to meet you.
be very welcome, man.
Thanks.
Uh, well, let's get started here because we have a lot of things to to see today related to Gitcoin. Today we're going to make a deep dive in Gitcoin, right? And let's go. First of all, it's going to. I think it's important uh, to give a little context for Unai that is just joining us. Unai, are you aware of the, let's say, the goal, the objective of this weekly meeting, this wealth transfer initiative touchdown meeting?
Not really, like not fully, I would say.
Yeah. Well, of course you heard or you read TB, Tiberius, TB and Tesorica talk about this weekly meetings that we have been meeting for a while now. I think for at least 4 months. I think 3 or 4 months. And well, uh, when I'm going to ask you something, and it's going to be nice if we do a type of a question and you give an answer because it's more useful than I for us to contextualize it. What you understand as wealth and what you understand as wealth sharing or wealth transfer in the context of these profound changes that we're living in this third decade of the 21st century, you and I.
You ask what I understand as wealth.
Yes.
I don't know. Like really, I don't know. Like I would have to, I don't know, to sit down and write maybe. And well, wealth transfer. I know. I mean, I would say just like to find the means to yeah, basically to create a more generative society.
Well, first of all, Lauren always asks, and I think this is a good thing. From where are you? From where are you now in the planet? Just for us to know.
Yeah, I mean, in Tanzania, I'm from Spain, but I live in Tanzania since 3 years ago. I work in a local NGO, and we deal mainly with simple technologies. And then I have been participating in Sensorica and
Wow.
yeah, kind of exploring also the Web3 space lately.
Are
What's
you?
your NGO's name? Can I
Sorry,
Google your NGO? See what they're up to?
sorry,
Can I Google your organization and see what they're up to?
I cannot hear properly.
Can I Google your organization and see what they're up to? Sounds like it's a good one.
Sure, I will paste the link.
Okay, thanks, Renee.
Yeah, I want to check it out too.
I think all of us.
Yeah,
And
simple technology. All right.
yeah, but Unai, are you Spanish?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. You see, we have a thing about languages here. Lauren speaks some Brazilian Portuguese. I don't know. Do you speak some? Do you know
pouquinho.
Portuguese or? Yeah, I know. And
No.
no, no,
I
only.
think you are much better than us at understanding, right? Like you can understand Spanish, but we are not that good at understanding Portuguese.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I have a lot of Spanish friends, and I only speak English with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they are not able to understand Brazilian Portuguese. This is weird, isn't it? It's very weird. It's very
Mm.
weird. Yeah. But oh, say something in Spanish. It would be nice to hear your Spanish because I can understand you. I think that Atos and Guilherme, they are Brazilian too. Yeah.
Okay. No, hola, soy Unai. Nada, estoy contento de estar aquí con vosotros y a ver qué depara la sesión.
Well, that was not. I got it. I don't know if Loudon got or Anthony got. Did
Yo
you?
estoy contenta también.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, that was a very warm welcoming. Did you got it, Atos? Did you got it?
Sí, sí, yo comprendo.
So I think we're going to do in Spanish, Anthony. Okay. So let's go. Uh, so now, interesting that you don't know what is wealth, right? Interesting. Does is this for you some very alien concept? Wealth?
I mean, I think wealth usually we relate it with money, like with capital and such words, but like I think there is much more to that, and it can be understood in different ways, right?
Yeah, totally. That's why we're here. We're having a profound conversation, a horizontal and vertical conversation about this, and we think that actually when this all this planetary societal collapse that we are living with the actual ethos that we have as post-industrialist or industrial societies, we need to discuss this. We need to re-understand, reframe it, re-signify it, right? And we have been talking a lot about this, but not only talking, we have been we're not only talking, we're walking too. We're doing things together, right? So, and one of the first things that we're doing here is together is to come up with, let's say, a type of consortium in the Gitcoin space. I don't know if you know Gitcoin, Git coin, Gitcoin. Do you know
Yeah,
Gitcoin? Yeah.
I do. We have a grant for one of our
Oh
projects there.
wow,
Really?
that's really great. What is the grant, man? Because we're going to take a look over there, and it's going
Okay,
to be,
I will share the link too.
yeah, it's going to be nice to have your feedback on your experience, right? Because we're just getting started there. So if you're already there, wow, that's going to be nice. So if you share, you can share. You know, actually, you can share the link if you want of your Gitcoin, because this Zoom here is very shareable for everyone. So
Yeah, there it is.
okay,
Yeah, and regarding like your question about what wealth is, like, uh, I'm taking like a course from how is it Commons Engine, and I like this like the deep wealth concept. I think is from metacurrency and so on, where they talk about like how we currently understand what wealth is and how wealth can have other
are you talking?
layers, let's say.
Are you talking about Arthur Broke and initiative of
Yeah.
Metacourse? Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know if Anthony is aware of the Metacourse project. Are you aware, Anthony, of the Metacourse
The
project?
Metacoin project, no?
Yeah. I'm going to ask Kunai to share again a link about it.
What project? Meta what?
Meta currency project.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's related to holochain and things like that. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting because this is something that Arthur Brock and others has been talking about for years now. I think for a decade at least, a decade and a half, right? And very interesting. And they landed in the holochain project, right? Well, Uh, let's go. Unai, uh, I think that's going to be nice, man. If you already, I, you see, I'm a beginner in the Gitcoin platform, right? Environment, but I think that you already have a very interesting presence. Let me open here. I think it would be nice if you yourself open because I want you will actually know better than me how to navigate through your grants, right? So, oh, here is it. I'm looking at it,
You,
but I,
okay.
I'm looking at it, but you please share. Feel free, man. So,
Mm,
give us a quick tour or expanded tour. Make yourself comfortable. First, to know how did you how did you got to know about, of course, of the Gitcoin platform, and
okay.
how was the process uh, of having your grant approved and activated, right, in the Gitcoin
Mm,
environment? That would be nice. I have my experience also. Atus here is starting to have
mhm.
with me and with Guilherme. So we could start there, and I will make my comments, and I invite Atus to do his comments too. And let's go. Feel free, man.
Yeah. So I don't exactly know how I got to know Gitcoin, but I think mainly I got to know about Common Stack and well, Will Raddick's work in with grassroots economics in Kenya with community currencies, and at some point I saw that they had these grants, and I was contributing, just making some donations to a few projects that I found interesting. And so in this year, at April or so, we started this Jumbo Innovation Academy project. I joined. This is me, Metodo, and this is my colleague Ibra. So
Oh man,
He's
you are already in Utopia's environment, aren't you?
yeah. Well, I on Discord I joined yesterday, I think.
Yeah, Discord. Yeah, be very welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we joined together with some other actors who are not that much involved, but are also around us, with the intention to replicate the Social Innovation Academy, which is a model that has already been running in Uganda for some years, where like youth experience live together in a self-organized community for some months, and they undergo like a personal development process, getting to know their purpose, and then they end up establishing social enterprises that tackle like local social challenges. And they are already replicating the model, and we contacted them and we asked them, oh, like we would also like to replicate that model here in Jombe. And that's what we are doing, and our main goal with this Jombe Innovation Academy project. Yeah, like the setting up the grant was easy. Like, I mean, I don't know how nice it's like what we wrote, but basically we also submitted our idea to some calls for proposals. But like I kind of started this Ibra, my colleague, is very open. He's not working in my organization, which is more kind of traditional, but he's very open to trying new things. So I share with him. He already knew about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and so on. So I shared with him this opportunity, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So we had already submitted the project to some calls for proposals. So our basically the structure of what we share here is, yeah, we wrote a small theory of change, milestones, strategic approach, and yeah, some things that we were asked in some calls of proposal that we wrote. Yeah, like I don't know, we didn't have any problem. We uploaded it. We were approved.
Yeah.
Um,
This is
and
you
yeah,
were active for the GR11, or were already active since the GR10, GR9,
GR10. We
GR10.
started
Yeah.
in 10. We also joined Panvala League, which is a community of communities
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
share extra
Very,
matching.
a very great,
So it's,
a very huge one for the
yeah,
instance.
it's very nice.
Could you talk about the Panvala League a little bit for the guys here?
Yeah, like Panvala is well, it's a treasury basically. Like they have a token which is called Pan, and basically what they do is they synchronize with Gitcoin. So there are four Gitcoin matching rounds every year. Although I think they will change it soon. And well, I didn't explain. I don't know how familiar you are with Gitcoin, because that's
Well, I'm, I could say I'm a beginner in the sense that I'm starting to get to know the environment, but I have a quite good grasp of it. I don't know about. I think Lauren has done her research too. I don't know about Anthony, but
I tried to sign up yesterday,
yeah,
but didn't
yeah,
sign
yeah,
up.
Anthony done, and I think that the only guy here that actually is uh, seeing for the first time is Guilherme. I don't know because Atus already took a look over there. So feel free, man, to
yeah. It's,
navigate.
it's, it's just like every 4 times every year. So donations, like anytime anyone can donate to any grant, but there are four times during the year. I think it lasts for 2 weeks when there is matching. So, and this is like they use quadratic funding, meaning that it like the matching that you get increases with the number of contributors. Like it's much better if you get $1 from 100 contributors than a single donation of $100. Like the matching you will get will be much bigger. And so we joined this in the Gitcoin round number 10. There have been 10 since the start of Gitcoin, and last September was Gitcoin round 11. And Pambala, yeah, it's a treasury. They have a PAN token, and yes, as I was saying, they are synchronized with Gitcoin, and they also allocate matching. It's like a similar concept based on how many donations you get every quarter. There is the inflation that new tokens are created every quarter and are distributed among all the communities according to how many donations, like the quantity and the number of contributors that they got in that matching round.
Are you
And honestly,
actually
it also depends. Yeah.
are you actually
Yeah.
in the Gitcoin DAO? Did you join the Gitcoin DAO?
No. I was like, because of what I was saying, like I was contributing, I got some tokens, but I delegated my governance power to Niran, who is like kind of the leader of Pambala. Yeah.
I don't know if you went very rapidly through it. I don't know if the guys here have some questions, or we can just continue. What you think, people?
I'm wondering, what is this thing about joining the DAO? You have to join the Bitcoin DAO and get governance power somehow? What's that?
Well, he said two things differently. The Panvala League is a cluster of, let's say, projects, endeavors, DAOs, right? That has its own governance, right? And
Yeah.
Gitcoin DAO is related to the Gitcoin environment. So there are different things. They're not the same one. So if you want, would I please explain a little bit with your perspective, the difference between those two?
Yeah, basically, like I think Gitcoin, there are a lot of projects which have started like from like a group of people working on developing the project, that at some point they want to decentralize the governance, so they want more people to make decisions on what the project will do. So Gitcoin did that, and they airdropped like a number of governance tokens to people who had participated in some way or another on Gitcoin, because Gitcoin grants is part of Gitcoin, but Gitcoin does many other things, like they organize hackathons. There are many other things you can learn, connect, like there are many things you can do in Bitcoin. So basically, they gave governance tokens to participants, and they can choose what to do with Gitcoin in the future. Through I don't know, I did not participate in the governance. I was delegating my voting power. So, and
Can
then
I ask one more
Pamvala.
question? One more
mm,
question?
yeah,
It says again and again, they say they're about the open web. They're about open source web projects, programming projects, software. And then
yeah,
we have a number of, there's Manufacturetron, there's this project we're considering today, and there's your project, which has nothing to do with open source software.
yeah.
They didn't have any objections to that when they approved your grant?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's good.
I got a question as well. As if I understood well, all this ecosystem, Bitcoin ecosystem, it requires us some participation. Like we have to participate in hackathons and learning, and this way we're having more. How am I supposed to say, more status, more recognized. We are more recognized for participation, and this increases our chances to get the grant. Am I right?
Yeah, I think the I mean, but not necessarily, like as I was saying. For example, myself, I was donating to a number of projects which I didn't discover through Gitcoin. I just got to know those projects. I got to know that they had this grant, and I contributed. I donated. Like, for example, Sensorica, like it has a lot of people, a lot of contributors. Those contributors do not necessarily have to participate in Gitcoin to donate if they think that's necessary. But of course, like the more you participate and the more you network with other people, the more people will know uh, your grant, your project, and the more contributors you will have. And I don't know so far, like if there are any like open source hardware hackathons. I guess there are not, but I don't
Yeah,
think. I think they might be open to that. I don't know.
yeah. For my experience and understanding, because I really participated in this last Gitcoin 11 round, right? And I done a lot of micro contributions, crypto micro contributions all over the place, as you.
Mhm.
And I was talking with one of the developers. It's a Brazilian. It's Danilo Lessa. He's from
Mm.
the block science. Do you know block science? Have you heard about?
Yeah.
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 So he was talking to me that they coded the algorithm to really let's say push the environment to be more and more decentralized. So when you pollinate your micro contributions, your micro donations all over the place, right? The algorithm understands that you're being very active to make the environment grow, right? To expand and make the nurture or nourish, right? You're nourishing and you're nurturing it. So the algorithm gives visibility for your grant, right? So people get to know about you. Because why is that? Because they understood. This was about 5 or 6 rounds ago, or I think 8 rounds, 7 rounds ago. Uh, you know, guys, please, when I continue to share your your the page, I'm going to ask you to do a little thing with us, uh, where you're in the Gitcoin space, please. And there's a thing that started to happen. Uh, Please click in what is possible. What is possible? Yeah. So you can earn, right? If you are a dev, you are a coder, you can earn all over the place, making participating in hackathons, right? Going after uh, bounties, a lot of sorts of bounties. You can learn about Web3 infrastructure, right? You This connection with top developers is people that are really deep in the Web3 environment. It's very interesting, and you have a two-way dynamics related to funding, right? Uh, you fund and you're be funded, so that's already that happens with this quadratic funding algorithm, right? And you have the DAO. You can join Gitcoin DAO. You can be part of it. That it's the DAO that has the stakes about this platform, this environment, right? So this is the sum of it. So now you go to products, please, Unai. So here you have the bounties, you have the hackathon, you have the grants, you have the quests. You can push, you can put a quest. You have the kudos. That is very interesting. Kudos, if I understood well, talking with Danilo from Block Science, kudos is quite the crypto that you create for your endeavor, your project, right? And it's paired with the with all the cryptocurrencies that already exists, let's say, in the in the Gitcoin environment. So, but we're not going to make a deep dive now about this. And you have the kernel, yeah, and the kernel is very interesting because it's a type of accelerator. Is to create allowing new Web3 infrastructures, right?
I know
To
I'm in kernel.
Yeah, yeah. So uh, uh, well, I actually want we could deep dive in everything here related to the products, but I don't know if this is the way that we want to browse, let's say, the Gitcoin environments. Uh, so if you want, Laudin, to have give some of your impressions about the kernel, I could give my impressions about the grants, and when I already give his impressions. Uh, so we could have different perspectives here, right? So I actually didn't didn't finish what I was talking about. What I'm saying is that it's very interesting if you have in your grant, in your team's grant, a lot of people with you and these people are very active in the environment, right? Pollinating, micro donations, contributions, investment, as you like. Uh, the algorithm makes your grant very visible, and you end up receiving more grants, let's say. And even if the team members are more, let's say, qualified by the Gitcoin environment, the matching fund proportion to what has been investing on your grant, it increases, right? In the time that the platform will put more, will put the equal amount, or will put more, right? 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and things like that. So that's my understanding. That's my experience. So Lauren, please, if you want to give us share a little bit of your impressions and perspectives, it would be nice too.
Okay, first of all, I want to say, Unai, I'm so glad that you came, and this group has been coming to a lot of similar conclusions that you have, and your smart technologies. We had this whole discussion before about Gambiarra, which is the like third world MacGyver type, and then that morphed into this discussion on System D, which is like it's a technology based on like making do with what you have, and these incredible innovators and engineers and villages all around the world who are doing amazing stuff. And I just wanted to tell you too, I'm really interested in that my husband is from Niger, and we're probably going to be investing in drip agriculture there. So I'm looking into a lot of these same technologies. And yeah, so we're so glad that you came to this call, and everything you're doing
Yeah.
is just like validating what we've been coming up with too. So I just checked out the smart technologies, and I know a lot of groups too, from Senegal to Uganda and stuff, that are like young innovators doing stuff in rural tech. So I really appreciate the repairable part of the technologies, because so many of these fancy development agencies like World Bank, they import this like tech that it breaks and no one can ever repair it, and then it just dies and rots. And
Exactly.
so that's why we have Anthony here, who's creating a really amazing 3D printer, which he also said that it might be too expensive for the moment, but
Well, it depends on the
still,
context.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much these guys have.
Yeah, but he's developing out like a community printer in the kind of $10,000 range that can print out very high quality parts, and not just kind of like plastic things that needs to be shaved. So that could maybe add to the conglomeration of technologies, fab labs, and stuff like that. And about Kernel, I'm a Kernel fellow.
Sorry,
and
can I ask, like you were mentioning System D and something else before? I
yeah,
didn't.
so System D is the meme we've been developing, which is it's already a phrase in French, System D, and it's like when someone does some kind of innovation, like with duct tape and bubble gum, they joke that it's System D. So that's what it's based on.
But Unai, the other term she mentioned was gambayaha, which is a term we learned from Vinny. Apparently,
Yeah.
a term in Brazil for when you have you ever heard the term MacGyver? We're using that as the standard term, but you may not have heard it. It's a TV
Right.
show in America with this
Can
guy.
you write it on the chat?
Huh?
Because I don't even. Can you write it on the chat? Because I don't even.
Yeah. I think it's with a Y, not a guy, with not an I. It's
Like that?
yeah, like that.
Okay.
Anyway, my high school chemistry teacher was a fan of the show MacGyver, and basically you can take junk pieces or whatever's lying around and rise to the challenge at hand and making your car work or whatever it is. So this is a big deal in other countries where you don't have much to work with, right? But yeah, sorry, back to you, Lauren. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no problem. So, yeah, so Kernel, it's pretty easy to get in, and you can keep coming back. So, I come to every session and show up, and they have educational materials. It's a loose accelerator, so it's not like a kind of accelerator where they take you through and babysit you. There are like some opportunities for grants, but it's loosely organized. So it's a good place to hear speakers and kind of meet people, but it's a little bit, if you need a lot of hand holding, it's not great in that. But yeah, I've met a lot of cool people from there. And I also I've heard a lot of good things about Will Ruddick, and he was in Kernel as well, although not very active. But yeah, definitely hear good things coming from his project.
What project did you join Kernel with a project or?
So I have a collective intelligence collaboratory called Kikolab, which is kind of paused at the moment, taking a break. But we do a lot of we are kind of like Sensorica, but Sensorica does open hardware, and we do social production, which is it. So we've been developing a framework for collaboration in some like experiment. We've been doing experiments and stuff with formats and templates and etc. Mainly in the field of group memory, creating group memory together.
That sounds good.
We're gonna start working on that next week here. So we're gonna create our own group memory. So we've been talking, but one thing we haven't done is gone back through our conversations and see what we've talked about, where they've led, what the we haven't like really looked at our conversation. So Vincent said he's going to try to come next week, and we're going to use Trove to put a record of our conversations where we can travel through the different episodes and document them enough to get the transcript, put the video on YouTube, and also give the highlights of each session to know where we can find like Atus, when did he present threefold? I would love to go back and find that. Right now I can't. I don't know which episode that was and what time in the episode. So that's what we want to try to do next week.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. This is the best thing that I heard. Not really, not really. Unai, really great, man, to have you here. Fantastic. I'm taking a look all over Panvala. I already had a look, a little. I browse around, right, Panvala League, but I didn't take a look like I'm taking now. Well, we have a challenge here. We have a challenge. We we want to understand. We know that the relationship with the Gitcoin platform is something that it comes with time, right? Like everything, but it comes with time. It can be in a more technical way if you're a dev, right? You can involve yourself via grants, via bounties, and all things around, as we already talked about. You can just actually start it by putting your grant in these 4 rounds that you talk, this quadratic funding for 4 rounds that occurs during the year. But you can come up with what they call a collectible. Did you make when I did you see this, the collectible that you put project that you feel that has the same resonance, the same vibration with same goal, let's say, not the same goal but has the same resonance with your project? Did you see the collectibles in Gitcoin environment?
Yeah. That's I think during the matching rounds, you see them the first. So, and I was using them to donate to Panvala League members.
Yeah, talk about a little bit about your experience about the collectibles, because the first thing that came to me is that we could make a collectible between Utopia, right? This other endeavor that you're already in its Discord. You landed there, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and Taudal that you don't know, I think don't know about, and Sensorica, and we're going to put Sensorica, and even I don't know. Lauren gave us last week a very interesting weaving how we can do all this together and relate to Niger too. But if we're going to make something, Lauren, related to Niger, right? It makes a lot of sense for us to be part of the Panvala League, right? And I don't know how much collectibles Panvala League has. Do you know, Unai?
No, you mean collection, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
collections. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know Niran, who is the founder of Panvala, has one. That's the one I use. But I'm sure I know other communities which are part of Panvala League have their own collections, and yeah, I have not been exploring much. Maybe some about public goods like or commons and stuff like that, common stock and so on. But no,
But
I
do
don't
you
have much
think that
experience.
this is a good let's say strategy to begin with? In this,
Yeah, but
we come up with a collectible in the next quadratic funding round.
yeah,
What is that? I
definitely.
don't understand.
I
Collection,
mean,
not the collectibles. Collection.
Oh,
basically,
okay.
yeah, you know it. It's basically any person can select a number of grants and put them as a collection, and everyone can, instead of choosing, okay, this person knows or is aligned with what I think or what I want or what I like. So
Mhm.
I just uh,
So what I
follow
was
what.
Unai, what I was suggesting, and I don't know quite how to do this, and sort of depending on a math person to check it out, is um, to put a collection of groups together that have Gitcoin grants that can support each other. So you might have a group, Unai, of like 20 innovators in your group, and they could actually help groups all around the world, like that we know in Brazil and Senegal, to when they have their Gitcoin grant to donate to that. And if we just had like a little pot of like, even just $1,000 or $2,000, when someone had a grant, you can take like 100 of that. The centralized entity could actually loan that money to one of the like the people in Tanzania who could donate it to the grant that was up in Senegal, and then the grant in Senegal could add money back to the pot. And so, but it's not unlimited. The Gitcoin grants, there's like a sweet spot in the grant. There's some kind of curve that if you have like 20 or 30 people donate, that's like amazing. And after a certain number or a certain amount, it starts matching less and less. But there's like a sweet spot that you hit that's like
Yeah,
amazing, like 5 times matching, and we want to
yeah,
collect
that's it.
that. But I don't know how to compute that.
Well, when they say quadratic curve, to me that says a parabola. It just goes up. So there's no sweet spot for the bottom area, and it's not discontinuous. It would just be it's a parabola. Well, it would be something like a parabola. It doesn't have to be a parabola, but there's several quadratic curves are just a class of mathematical curves. You can look them up on Wikipedia and
Yeah,
see what they look like.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say what Anthony said. Actually, let me
Either they're
share
making
one.
stuff up, either they're making up a term and like they're actually doing something else, or they're just doing exactly what they say they're doing.
uh,
Sorry, Ina, go ahead.
I just discovered that you actually your grant is in the collection of the Panvala League. Here you are. Are you seeing here?
Yeah, of course.
Did you know
All
about?
the
Did you know about that?
Yeah, that's the one I used. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Is
Yeah,
this
that's
you?
Niran, the one in the photo.
Yeah, it's you,
Nidan.
man. It's you. Okay. Now we're seeing. Let me see. Let me see if we can see you better because uh, you're so distant here. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Where are you? Where are you?
Oh, we're looking at collections here?
Yeah, that's collections. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's collections. We have a lot of them. And here is our guy. Hi, Unai. We're seeing you now. Yeah. Here you go.
That one is Nidan, eh?
Is that you?
Yeah, from Texas? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know.
me.
Is that but the academy, the innovation academy is here, right? So
Sure. Yeah.
let's take a look. Uh, I'm trying to for you. I don't know if you folks are viewing well. Are you folks view? Oh, here we go. View. So here we go. We have this is the collection, right? You have the Hombe Innovation Academy. You have the Design, Gender, Diversity, and DAOs. You have the Web3 Designers Org, and you have the NF DAO, and you have the Prime Rating Permissionless DeFi Rating. So, this collection here, Laurin, is have about 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Wow, almost 10,
There are 15 total.
15 a total. Yeah, 15.
50.
50. Wow.
Yes, we are 50 communities in Pampala League right now, and more are
Wow.
coming. Mm.
Wow. That's huge. So here is the collection created by Panvala League, right? Uh, and but you can create your own, right? If you want, you can create
Yeah,
your yeah, yeah.
actually, I think I created my own, but I deleted it. I didn't want to.
So
Anyone
Unai,
can do so.
another meme that we've been developing and working on is an ecosystem services, and part of these ecosystem services that we're imagining, and this is like not related to an ecosystem that's connected to a particular technology like holochain or IPFS, but our overall ecosystem. And we're trying to figure out how we can work together better to do collective grant writing, allowing us to get bigger grants like EU grants that you need coalitions to get, and how we can, help each other using actual Web3 technologies like FedWiki, etc., to do better grant writing. TB has come up with like an amazing workflow and spreadsheet to organize a kind of group effort to locate and to apply for grants and to get partners and stuff like that. So yeah, it's another theme of ours.
Yeah, actually, I am participating in Greens for Good project in Sensorica, and well, I'm not super active, but the funding effort is what I am mainly participating in right now. So
That's
yeah,
great. No, I didn't know that.
it's very nice.
Yeah.
Are we gonna? Are we actually hoping to form a coalition today and apply for the grant, or is that
Yeah,
not?
we're going to do this now. I think that we browse. Uh, I don't say a lot, but we browse somewhat, some much of it. Uh, Actually, I'm already there as Taudao, and I have an account there. as
Okay, so
global.
you've been through the process of applying for
Yeah,
like
I already. Yeah, I Taodao has received in this last 11 Gitcoin round $737
okay.
through various cryptos in 5 different blockchains, and we're actually withdrawing it now to put it in or in reais, in fiat money, for the people in Taodao can access it. So Utopia, we're just starting. We have the project, the 4 projects. We put Utopia in 4 different grants, right, Atus? And we are going to, we had been approved for these 4 grants, the 4 rounds of grants. And we're not activated in this last 11 rounds. So I think obviously we're going to be activated for the last one of this year. But as Unai says, anyone can contribute, micro contribute anytime for the projects, right? And Atus, if you want, man, could you give us a look around Utopia, talk about Utopia, share about Utopia here with Unai, and
Yes.
and uh, and have just just browse a lot of the Utopias project that we put in Gitcoins space, please.
Um, yes, I can talk about it, but I'm in the cell phone right now. I cannot share the screen.
Oh, I can do
I'm
this.
not able.
Oh,
Oh, okay, thank
I
you.
can do this for you, man.
Wow, how am I supposed to say? Utopia is a very big project, you know. We're we're trying to. There's a lot of layers involved because we're getting a partnership with Threefold that give us the infrastructure for a new internet, for a internet built by people. It allows anyone to have your computer being part of the internet. As the internet right now is like many that data centers, Google data center, Azure, Microsoft data centers, and is not decentralized. Is very centralized. You know, we have the DNS. We have to always to have to access some of their giant, some of the traditional servers or data centers. And with this new system, with this threefold system, we can anyone, everyone can have one be part of this internet. So when you put your machine on the grid, you have you're offering the computer capacity and memory and storage to the internet, and that's it. And it works autonomous. So it gives us the possibility to decentralize, really decentralize the internet and make people be own the owners
Atus,
of the internet.
Atus, where did you
So
put?
this is the first layer.
Atus, what did
Sorry.
you where did you put that graphic that you done, or that you were using? I think you were using a graphic from Threefold, right? To explain about Threefold. When you make explanation about Threefold, you share the graphic how Threefold run.
When I talk about threefold, I mostly I get the information from their website, the info sdk.threefold.io.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. Yeah, that's it.
They have a lot of schemas there to explain about their system, but this is only one layer of utopia. This is only the first layer is the low level where we gonna put our solutions on it.
Do
Um,
you want me to share that mural that we're co-creating now? Do you think it's
Sorry.
okay? that mural that you're co-creating with Guilherme, do you want me to share it?
Oh, would be great. Would be great.
Yeah, I'll share.
So that's it. That's the first layer, and we're rethinking about the wealth, wealth, the wealth conversion in financial, because as we see, this this energy. Money is an energy, and it's not very well converted. Our time life, our effort, the social and environmental costs is not considered in the financial right now. It's like a mess, uh, well, with Utopia, we think we can make a internet of the people's internet, and there are other approaches. It's a regenerative project. So all of kinds of regen habits and practices could be tokenized and converted into OS, that is our currency, the Utopia currency. And there will be a marketplace where people can sell and buy products and services. And we're thinking about to making a DEX, decentralized exchange to exchanges us to other coins and talk with other blockchains. And why not have our own smart chain, because Brazil is like almost a continent, and so we're big. And with this approach, having the thinking, and with this approach, having a lot of nodes distributed around the Brazil, we could have a really efficient and resilient network. And okay, I think I might be have a, a summary of all. And what I was talking, this one, Vinny, is about the app, the Utopia app. This will be our first, one of our first approach, on one of our first movements. And we're developing an app. It's almost release. It's almost the launch. The launch will be soon, the beta test. And that's it. That's the relationship between us and the application. When you produce content, regenerative content, and learning tracks from regen practices and anything that is regen, you can upload this material to the app, and people, it's like a TikTok for good. The application, but there's just one layer. There's the app, there's the DEX, there's the smart chain, the infrastructure for people's internet. Wow, there's a very big project. So uh, I hope I hope I have been clear, but I'm here with if you have any doubts or anything about the big picture. Is the left one, Vinicius? The left one is the big picture, like the DEX. So we have an app, and yeah, right now we're working on this layer app, on this app layer. There's a team developing the application, almost there, and I'm working in integrate Web 3.0 in this application. So we have to create us, register and polygons blockchain probably. We're, we're still thinking about it. Well, I don't know. Anything else you want to know? I'm here.
Can you share the mural so I can look at it? I'm glad you're doing this.
Yeah, thanks. No, I think I
Vinny,
will
do you
take
have a copy of the mirror?
I'm going to share.
I will take a look. Like there is a lot. So
We're working on our white paper. We're writing it, me and Guilherme
Okay.
and me, and we think we have a light paper, a first version of our light paper next week.
Oh, I'd like to read it, although I will be very critical and I'll tell you like everything that I don't understand. So just so you know, I don't want to like hurt your feelings. So if you want to get like feedback, I will give it to you, but I'll tear it up. Just
Thank
FYI.
you. Will be great.
Because when I write white papers, I really appreciate it when someone's like, "This is totally not understandable," and so.
Yeah, it's important to know that. This feedback is very important. Thank you, Lauren. I will share with you as soon as I can.
How about this? I'd like something like tangible to come out of this session, and I just found out I have like $800 in my MetaMask account, which used to be like $20. I'm not sure how that
What is
happened.
It's a-
What?
Is that it's a coin exchange or something? MetaMask?
It's something you have to install. I have it installed in Mozilla it's like a wallet to keep um your ETH and all of the coins and stuff. So just to let you know, it's doable for a normal person to to download MetaMask and to set up an account. What is infinitely harder is to get someone to be able to take money in and out from the real world. I don't know how to do that on my account. But what I'm trying to say is that if we can get people from, say, Unai, is your grant currently up? Like for funding?
yeah, it's always up.
Okay.
There is not.
Well, we can just start raising money if you can get people to, download MetaMask. If we can get the people from Utopia and people in Tanzania to download MetaMask, we just have a few dozen people who actually have this stuff, then we can take some of our funding. Like I would be happy to send, $5, $5, $5 from my MetaMask into their accounts, and then they can start swapping the funding and fund each other, and then we can raise like a quick like couple $1,000s that way.
Can I say something about this?
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like a good idea, and sounds within reason. You have one person sends a bunch of coins, and then they send them to say 10 people or 100 people even, and then those 100 people send them to Gitcoin for any project. It can be several different projects, or it can be one project. According to the what I read on the algorithm, that should greatly increase the amount of funding that these projects will eventually receive, as compared with that one person taking their $100 or whatever and just putting it into one.
Yes. Yeah. So what we want, so when my friend Luke, he has this DAO in Curacao, and he was like, "Will you donate to my fund?" And I was like, this is gonna be too complicated. I don't know. It's like this Gitcoin thing. I didn't hear. I'd never heard about it. And he's like, "Do you have a MetaMask account?" I said, "I do." And so he actually sent me the money to donate to his grant. And that made sense to him because he sent me like $5 worth of crypto. I donated his grant and he got $20 from my donation. So that's the point.
Yeah,
that actually matches perfectly with the description of quadratic funding here. The square root of each community contribution. Wait, no.
I really like this technique, but I'm curious. I'm gonna research that link about the quadratic fund to understand, because right now I don't know where the money came from, but I'm gonna research about it, and I think it's a great technique. Even if we send our money and to other people, and they found the grant we have quadratic. Wow, it's crazy.
Can I say one more thing about it though? I'm reading this document written by the developers of Gitcoin. They're talking about how to attack and defend quadratic funding. And so they talk about, in the very beginning, they talk about two attack vectors. One is the Sybil attack, which Vinesh just mentioned. But they describe it. They say a Sybil attack is when you produce a large number of fake accounts. So you're actually only one person with, say, $100, but you produce 100 accounts under fake names, and you use them to donate $1 each into a certain project,
Yeah.
your own Gitcoin project or your buddy's Bitcoin project. And that's considered cheating.
Yeah.
Sounds like a legitimate approach, but because the funding that matches the grants is donated by donors who have a certain idea of what the money is supposed to be for. It doesn't come from like the crypto system. It comes from other people who donated money. So they're expecting the money to be used to be guided by real people.
That's it.
Everybody gets
That's why they're so thorough to understand if you a real person, right? You're a real human being.
Yeah.
So all the process of profiling, there's an intense process of profiling, Anthony,
Yeah.
in the Gitcoin
Okay, so you have
space.
to.
Yes, for you to see that you are human. You're not another account. So you have a gradation, right? Actually, mine, I don't know you guys, but mine is 110%. I'm verified as human 110%, but you can be 150% verified as human. I'm not in the last mile of the qualification. Let's say this qualification. I'm a real person, right? That's the thing about it. Unai, how much is your qualification? Let's say your accreditation in the Gitcoins environment.
I think
How do we even find that out?
Yeah, how do we find out what our rating is?
Because if you open an account in Gitcoin, this is the first thing that's going to ask you. Well, we have a lot of proofs here. Proof that you have a Facebook account, proof that you have a Google account, proof that you have this. There's a lot of things that you have to prove. So if you have all the proofs, you actually you become a magnet to know about bounties, to know about hackathons, to when you put $1, this quadratic funding logic that you already described, Anthony, makes it more juicy to incentivize your grants that you're in, right? So it's really interesting. What did I please, man? You can talk.
I am unproven.
You're proven. Are you really
No,
human?
I'm unproven. I'm unproven.
Oh, so you're not human. Oh my God, Laura is not human.
So do we not get as much quadratic funding if we're not proven, I guess? Or how do they exclude you?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But did you go through all the experience to prove yourself in the platform?
No, not all of it. I'm missing. I'm 150 is the maximum. I have 140. So, but I think it affects like how your donations are matched, right? Not how the donations you get are matched. But I am not sure. I just shared like in the chat a link. They talk about these strategies to kind of cheat, and I don't know what you were suggesting is cheating or not cheating.
That's the next thing I was going to say. Unai, thanks for saying that. I don't think we're straying into cheating territory if we just are a bunch of people who actually do care about the projects we're actually donating to, and we just divide our money in a reasonable way instead of,
I mean, if it is to promote the ecosystem and we are actually real people with real projects plotting on how to support each other, and if that's gaming the system, I think the system is pretty stupid.
Yeah, no, I think what they're worried about more is like, suppose you set up a grant. From what I read in the article, you set up a grant, a bunch of people collude, say you have 50 people who collude to donate $1 each, and then the money from the grant goes back to the same people. And then that would be cheating. Like the money doesn't go to the actual project that they said it was going to go to. It goes back to the same people. And then the next funding round, you do the same thing again. You're just trying to get money out of the system, and that's all. So
I think that's one element of what we actually want to do, because we do want
not allowed.
to, yeah, we basically want to raise money for ecosystem projects to help the groups, like actually
well.
serve the groups, because there's no, these groups are still independent, and there's no ecosystem services to help them get smarter and to coordinate their activities and to spread their innovations.
Well, I think as long as the money is going to where exactly it says it's going in the grant, that's the main thing. I mean, as long as the money is going to, supposedly do a Greens for Good project and say, hey, we're going to build a centrifuge with the money, the money has to go to the centrifuge. It can't be going to the next round of funding, or maybe a little bit could go to the next funding round as input to the next round of funding, right? You see what I'm saying? Like,
so I mean, I think we can set up like another project that's like ecosystem services or something, and it could be its own DAO that organizes these funding things, and then when people are funded, they give back money into that, and it supports the grant writing and stuff like that.
yeah, that's an idea.
And also, here. So I'm not like a crypto person. I need someone with more heavy experience in currencies. But this ecosystem services project could somehow, a bunch of different entities could invest in it in their own currencies. And somehow it could just carry a whole basket full of random currencies of its members, and people who do ecosystem services end up, basically they end up investing in a bunch of different things, so they get like a smorgasbord of investment, which is nice if you're investing in crypto to just get like a bunch of different things.
I'm not sure I understand. What's the point again?
Well, we have to fund the people who are actually working in the ecosystem services, doing the grant writing and stuff like that. And so even if they're, one way to do that is it's clear to say one group, like, for example, one of the services could be, it's almost like buying insurance, where if there's a problem in your group, there's a social problem, this ecosystem services will come in and do conflict resolution. This is a huge problem in decentralized groups, if you don't know. And so someone from outside the group, because conflict resolution inside the group is difficult, so someone outside the group will come in and do some sort of thing. But the group basically pays their own currency to be a member of these ecosystem services. So they pay, it's almost like it's like taxes. It's like government taxes, basically. We're reinventing centralized technology.
Well, you're just paying for a service in this case, so you can opt out if you want to, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying that you basically, instead of like paying for a specific service, you pay like a monthly fee and then use it if you need it.
Yeah, because you don't know if you're going to get into a conflict or not. It's like insurance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, sounds like a viable idea.
And then also, like, if you pay a monthly fee, you'll maybe be included when the ecosystem services, maybe they're looking out for grants, and they'll look out for your particular group too. Because when, say for example, if I'm looking through a database of grants, these grant databases are expensive. Like any quality one is like $300, which is incredibly expensive for one group to have. And I might know that as an NGO, but it's like one group could pay this subscription and then look for grants for 10, 20, 100 different groups, and just put them on a shared calendar and start, because it's like it's only a marginal time cost of, if you're already doing this grant research, to just look for more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But can the grant writers take a commission when they get a grant instead of? I'm just trying to think of a simpler method of
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
what,
make grant writers get paid.
yeah, we'd like that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I certainly make use of that if I had the opportunity to with manufacturers on. I would go for that for sure.
And another idea that we've had is that, for example, Sensorica is based in Canada, but can easily partner with a fab lab in the United States to be able to qualify for a US grant. So one of the problems with
Yeah.
these grants is that for every grant, they have these different qualifications. You need to have this entity in this place and this thing and that thing and like a whole list of things that you need. And so what I'm trying to do is make it much easier for each grant to be like, oh, okay, we need a partner. We need a university partner. We already have a list of university partners who will partner with a bunch of different groups in this kind of coalition. And so it just eases the, like reduces the friction.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like it sounds like the collection of all these ideas put together is going to be quite a very useful ecosystem service. It would really help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if we lost Unai with this. Unai, are you following?
Yes, yes, yes.
Any doubts?
So
Any doubts, questions?
so Unai, I just want to explain like the idea is that using software like Web3 software like FedWiki, FedWiki would allow us we could write a cool grant for a group doing irrigated agriculture in Niger and just reuse that material to write another grant for a group doing the same thing in Tanzania. And Web3 just allows you to easily fork writing material and stuff like that. So we can use our own, like we can dog food our own technologies that no one's using to actually build up our ecosystem.
Mm.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think that's like what Sensorica is doing in a way, right?
TV did discuss what they were doing. It seemed that they were trying to essentially go backwards from the existing grants and build consortiums that match the grants. It was one of the main things they were doing. So it seems like I'm pretty sure it's different.
Yeah, but you see, it doesn't have this this network trigger that Louding is sharing. The type of project, type of dynamics that Sensorica does actually related to grants and ecosystem or community services is of course in a very peer-to-peer fashion, but it has a very institutional layer because it's already it talks with official grants from the European Commission. It talks with official grants in the city of Toronto in Canada and things like that. It doesn't have this mobility, this organic mobility that Louding is sharing with us here. It's more an institutional pace, right? It goes more in an institutional pace, and it's related to the let's say to the knowledge and the experience that anyone has with any foundation, any grants and things like that. Am I right here, Laurie, or I'm wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you feel that in this sense? Because I feel that is what you just described for you and I don't know if Atos is following us even because we didn't actually give this step that you give now with us in the first work party, and it's going to be nice if we're all here on the same page, right? So, Atos, are you following this conversation, my friend?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing. I'm here.
Yeah, so that's nice. So, what you guys think is going to be nice to hear from you, Atos, and you and I. How do you feel that all the things that you've been doing related to your grant and the Gitcoin spaces and your relationship with the Panvala League, and because I actually have a perspective here of how Utopia can be related to this, but it's going to be nice if you give us a feedback about your impressions. How can your project, your grant, and Pavala League be related with this?
I will have to understand Autopia much better to answer to that, I think.
But
But I definitely think,
I didn't ask for Utopia. I asked for your project and the Pavala League dynamics.
but in how they can relate or into with Autopia.
Not with Utopia. Utopia is going to be part of this. With this idea, this project, this idea that Lauren just weave with us, this ecosystem service, let's say, to facilitate folks all over around to be granted, right, to be micro invested, and without having so much cultural, technical barriers to access this. So that's the question.
Okay. Yeah, I maybe again I don't fully understand like the concept. But what I understand it makes sense. So like somehow doing something similar to what Sensorica is trying to do, but using Web3, not just like traditional grants and so on, right?
Laurie?
Yeah, so do you write grants, Unai?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure when you have written grants, there have been a lot of grants that you say, oh my God, this is the coolest grant. I can't actually apply to this because I don't have this partner or I don't have this document or there's something I need that I don't have to even qualify for this grant, right?
Yeah.
And so that happens all the time. So what we're trying to do is make a really flexible network where for each grant, it makes it tons easier to get the partners you need, the documents you need, the endorsement letters that you need, and all of this. And so that you working in Tanzania can I don't know, maybe there's someone else. Say, for example, you didn't do, hardware things, but you can partner with Sensorica to write an application for some hardware sensor grant. And it's just like a matter of making smarter partnerships basically among us to basically increase the amount of funding that we can even access.
And Utopia, in this case, in the content production side, can come up with a very, very interesting approach, a content approach for the grants, right? And has already a lot of ways to do this through a decentralized podcasting experience called OCast, uh, through a live 20 minutes to change the world interview. There's a lot of ways, right, to produce regenerative content. So, as Lauren says, we already have the tools, the vision, and the potential to make the grant of anyone be visible, right? So, if we have this 360 approach, let's say, put it this way, to whatever we're going to do with whatever grants or projects tonight that you may have, or even Loudon has, or Utopia has, and Manufacturer has. We could really give a lot of visibility, and a lot of networking can be done with this approach, if I understood well. So we can potentialize, and we don't have even to be only related to the Gitcoin space, because you see, Lauren, there's another spaces that has the same dynamics, right? So it's not equally, it's not the same one, but has the same, let's say, quadratic funding dynamics, right? So it's very, I think it's a very good take that you just weave with us, Lauren. So I think we're heading towards the end here, and the top of the hour. And
Sorry, one like I don't know how much TV share with you, but I can share with you this is from Sensorica, and it's basically what you are mentioning because in Sensorica we have different.
Yeah, that's what he
It,
showed us. Exactly.
he already so. I mean, I understand that what you are mentioning is going one step further that what Sensorica is doing, but in a way, we like in Sensorica they are already different types of participants, actors, and we can kind of be flexible depending on the requirements of the calls for proposals. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what we're doing, we're using this, let's say, this quadratic funding boost to boost it up. Right? Uh,
Okay.
not only, but uh, Sensorica has a very peer-to-peer individual approach for it. Uh, we want to do this in a more herd approach where we have a lot of people related to the project coming around, giving a their burst for it. For it's a little bit different. It's not the same, right?
Okay.
That's why even TB is here. He's not here now, but he's co-creating this with us. So that would be it. I don't know if you Anthony or Atus or Louding or even you and I want to aggregate anything more. We could end up this work party, the second one. Well, just a little thing. Anthony, do you have a Gitcoin account?
Yes, I have an account. I just signed up for one. It's not
Okay,
verified or anything.
okay. We could do the third work party. We could actually put our hands on, and we could start a. We could make just to start. We could make a collection there. I'm already there. I'm related to Taudao. I'm related to Utopia. Atus is related to Utopia. Lauren, what you are actually more active in the kernel thing, isn't it? Or do you have a grant there too? I don't.
Mm-mm.
No, you don't.
I
Okay.
don't.
So you'll be part of any of these teams. It can be part of Taudao, Utopia. Do you have a
Sure, whatever.
yeah, yeah. And Anthony, do you have a project there? No, you don't. So
Not on Bitcoin.
we could come up with a project that can be related to UNI's grant. I don't know. It could be part of UNI's grant, as he has a very grassroots relationship, right? There in Tanzania. Uh, that would be nice. Even with Utopia too, because we too have a very grassroots relationship here in Brazil with communities, favelas, and things like that. So I don't know what you guys think. So for us to
I al-
wrap this up
I also
here,
wanted to offer if anyone wants to give me a list of people to send like $5 funds to in order to donate to, someone else's Gitcoin grant that's up, I will be happy to do that.
Good idea.
I have like Dai and Sai. I don't even know what Sai is, and I suddenly like have $500 worth of Sai. Like whatever
Really?
that is.
it's
Oh my
very interesting,
gosh.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You're
can
a
come
crypto
up with a
investing
list.
genius and you didn't realize it.
We can come up with a
What?
list. What?
I said you're a crypto investing genius without realizing it. You just make money without
No,
trying.
remember when I said my friend sent me like $5? He actually sent me $10. He sent me 10 extra dollars, and now it's like $500.
Damn, we should have got in on that. Well, maybe we didn't.
So, guys, that's it. Uh, it's going to be nice. I don't know, Lauren. You just suggest that next week we do. We're going to do something very different. Different in the sense that we're going to try to uh, make sense of all these touchdowns and these two work parties, right? With Vicent.
Yeah, what I think would be nice if we could prepare, Vinny, you and me, like by starting to post the YouTube. I don't know if you've posted the YouTube videos each week or they're just all in Zoom or what.
Yeah, I didn't have the time to do that, my dear. I actually uploaded one one touchdown to a
Okay.
YouTube account, but they're all in Zoom or in this notebook that I'm using here. So
Okay, I could maybe help you with that.
okay,
Because I probably have more space on my computer than you do to
Uh,
download stuff.
Totally. Because
Yeah,
I don't know if you folks know, I only use
I
reusables.
know.
So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'll help you with that. You just send me the account, the password for the Zoom account.
Okay.
And if you have a YouTube account, if you could send me the password, I could actually post it on YouTube.
Yeah. Totally. Uh,
And then what we're gonna do is help reconstruct the sessions by like posting the links and going through the transcripts and seeing like at what time we started this discussion and then help like using the transcripts to help us remember what we talked about and make summaries of what happened.
wow, that's great. That's great. It's like having a special edition of Kiko Lab.
Yeah. Yeah.
A special edition of Kiko Lab related to the Wealth Transfer Initiative. Well, that's great, Lolly. Well, folks, that's it. Uh, so for next week, we're going to have this session with Vicente. Vicente is a great guy. It's Lauren's friend, and he really has a very interesting take on how to make manageable, accessible, and interchangeable all the things related to collective intelligence, right? And and with this approach of Kiko Lab that Lauren just shared with us, wow, this is going to be awesome. We're just starting an awesome journey here. Uh, and that's it. I don't know, Anthony, if do you feel yourself, man, still in this dynamics? Because I think that you're a very brilliant and creative and very critical guy, and you have a sharp eyes to. You're quick and you have sharp eyes to identify things that usually people don't have.
Thank you. That's quite a compliment. What's the question though? Are you in this dynamic still? You say, am I still in the project?
Because I know that you're very involved, of course, with Sensorica, and you're involved with manufacturing, right?
Yeah.
And we're literally going to jump here in this journey to make a better sense of all these touchdowns that we make in this new work parties that we're starting to do. So it's going to be nice to have you all.
I thought we were going to make a Gitcoin grant for Greens for Good today, but I wasn't. I guess we didn't do that for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm looking for.
that's the thing about communication, interaction, right? If we don't make it really clear, we always have different perspectives, and
Yeah.
and the thing is, we even if we're going to do something related to Green for Good here today, it wouldn't be that, because Green for Good would be part of Sensorica's dynamics, right? And we're talking here something that's wholesome. It's not only about Sensorica. It's about Sensorica, about Kiko Lab, about Utopia, now about Unai, his projects, and things like that. So it's
Okay,
been
I
so
think we should probably get at least like two or three groups among us to commit to making sure that their members have that they download MetaMask and have wallets.
Okay, I can. Wait,
Like,
where
can
was
you
the
get
group? You just do it
can you
individually.
get 10 people or something to download MetaMasks that are in Greens for Good? They don't have to, like, I've done it. I'm I'm not that tech savvy, but I can do it. And so they can do it. And so if each group can do that, can get at least 10 members with wallets, then we can start moving money around.
They have to sign up on Gitcoin too and become verified, right? Before they can donate to
no
Gitcoin.
for MetaMask
No,
only.
not to. They
No.
make it easy to donate. You just need MetaMask and to
Yeah.
go through Gitcoin and sign up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of annoying, but it's doable. You don't have to.
Yeah.
The verification is for people who are running grants, who are accepting money, not
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a
And
couple friends I can ask.
MetaMask is very simple to open. Actually, it's very really simple. It's a browser wallet, right? It's an extension that goes to your browser. And I don't use it on Chrome. I don't like Chrome. I don't know if you guys use Chrome, but I use it in Firefox,
Yeah, me too.
and I use it on Brave. Brave is a very good browser to use them They have their own cryptocurrency too, right? So they have the bats. Well,
So can Unai, can you do that too?
I mean, actually, we were kind of doing that. There are some problems though. Like now, well, we are not in a matching round, and then,
Mhm.
but other than that, like gas fees now in Ethereum are very high, and Gitcoin only accepts Ethereum donations.
For sure.
So
Okay.
actually, we were thinking about doing that, something similar, you know. But then we
Mhm.
realized that the fees would be higher than the donations. You know, like if you want
Oh
to make a
God.
one
but
dollar
Yes, I
donation,
was
then you
thinking
need
the
to
same.
pay $4 or $5. So yeah,
That's
I was thinking, and
crazy.
then as I like, it's okay as you were saying, you can just create the account and donate, but the matching will increase if you are verified, like with Bright ID. I don't know if you are using Bright ID, but we could connect on Bright ID or different apps to
Okay.
to improve that. And I was thinking of sharing there's another Giveth you have probably heard of, which is also a donation platform. It is not doing any matching or whatever, but at
Mhm.
least it works on XDAI, which is another a side chain of Ethereum, so it has much lower fees.
Wow, very good
What's the
option.
other platform?
Maybe we can divide some of this work so that we can come back and someone can guide us through like
yeah, good.
the Gitcoin thing and the Bright ID, et cetera, so that but not me, because I'm gonna have my hands full doing this video and transcription stuff. So someone else
Well,
besides me.
yeah, I don't know. Atos is actually deep diving in this. I don't know, Atos, if you want to, you want to.
Yes, I can do it.
Yeah, man. I thought it so. Yeah. Just one more thing. Uh, Una, did you experience the Ethereum layer two, in the Uniswap space to swap between currencies, cryptocurrencies, because they have a very low fee there.
Yeah, this Arbitrum or Optimism.
Yeah, could you share
I, I
this?
did
Yeah,
I didn't try it yet.
because you see, Lonnie, what's happening is that, as Unai says, the gas
Mhm.
and the Ethereum space is very it's absurdly high, and they come up with a layer two dynamics, a
Mhm.
network, to actually where even the DAI or X DAI they're native for this layer two, where the gases where the taxes are very low. So and it's like atomic swap. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It's like atomic. You made an instant swap in a very low rate. But this is something that we can research together too. So
And
okay,
there is already on Gitcoin there is already a layer two option for donations, but still like you need to transfer from Ethereum to this layer two, and that transfer you need some to pay
yeah,
something.
yeah, you're
So if
right.
you are only going to make one single donation of whatever, it's not worth.
Well, what you're saying is that we're actually going to come up with a more interesting and more accessible, not so expensive, right, way to do this dynamics that we're talking here, the speech to peer dynamics. I think that we already have some options on the table, don't we, Unai?
Yes.
What would you say that's going to be a good option? Bright ID, uh, from uh, in your perspective, what could be a good option for MetaMask? Let's say.
What do you mean for MetaMask?
Because you see, MetaMask is related to Ethereum, as we know. They have a relationship with Binance too. Now they have the Binance Smart Chain there, but they don't have they don't have a relationship with Polygon. Let's say they don't have a relationship with Polkadot, and So,
On MetaMask or where?
Yeah, on MetaMask we can do connection with Polygon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
really?
XDAI, Polygon,
Yes, yes.
Ethereum. Yes,
Oh, they already have. Oh, that's good.
they are there. Yes.
So that's it. That was my doubt. Thanks a lot for the feedback. And anyone wants to say just a final word so we can end up this work party?
I just wanted to give thanks. I love coming here. It's like such a little gathering of like brilliant people that I just love. Like it feels like there's just gonna come some magical spark out of these meetings.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. It was good to be here.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And you and I feel very welcome.
Yeah. Thanks. It was super nice to meet you. I will connect my camera for some seconds. Yeah, nice to meet you all.
Good to
And
see you.
the next meeting is again on Friday, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but Friday, this out from 11 in Brazilian time frame would be from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So uh, that's it, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Don't go yet. Turn off the recording.